compulsively all the time. That is to say, we talk to ourselves. If I talk all the time, I don't hear what anyone else has to say. If I think all the time, that is to say, if I talk to myself all the time, I don't have anything to think about except thoughts. Therefore, I'm living entirely in the world of symbols. Therefore, if you meditate for an ulterior motive, that is to say, to improve your mind, to improve your character, to be more efficient in life, you've got your eye on the future and you are not meditating. Well, meditation, when correctly done, has nothing to do with all that. It's a kind of digging the present. It's a kind of grooving with the eternal now. The place where it's at is simply here and now. If you simply close your eyes and allow yourself to hear all the sounds that are going on around you, just listen to the general hum and buzz of the world as if you were listening to music. Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Don't put names on them. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums. It's all just sound. And if I am talking to you right now when you're doing this, don't try to make any sense out of what I'm saying, because your brain will take care of that automatically. You don't have to try to understand anything. As you hear sounds coming up in your head, thoughts, you simply listen to them as part of the general noise going on, just as you would be listening to the sound of my voice, or just as you would be listening to cars going by or to birds chattering outside the window. So look at your own thoughts as just noises. And soon you will find that the so-called outside world and the so-called inside world come together. They are a happening. Your thoughts are a happening, just like the sounds going on outside. And everything is simply a happening, and all you're doing is watching it. It's all just sound. The place where it's at is simply here and now.
Okay, what is up, guys? Evan Aldo here. Appreciate you guys for showing up. So yeah, we're here. We're in this market, and the ETF was approved, and it is being traded right now. So yeah, I mean, there's certain people trying to, you had a little bit of sell the news here, but a trigger wave is forming on the 30-minute, which could bring you potentially back up to this area, that 48K area, which is what I'm looking at, and then potentially higher up to 50K. I don't know if this is the huge pocket here. I don't know if we're done, quite yet. It does look like continuation of the 20-hour. I really like that. The 12-hour looks pretty good. Confirmed green dot there. It's a little conflicting. You do have the bear div, but money flow is still okay in the 16. So, there's a few things that could tell us, it could go either way. Bear div on the 30-minute printing, that could have already kind of played out in this drop down. So yeah, we definitely got to see. That confirms in 2 hours. I would assume if within the next 2 hours we don't jump higher, then you would, expect to be a little bit more bearish here. You'd expect more bearish things, in my opinion. But ultimately, I kind of like the 20-hour, larger. Let's see, what is printing a green dot? Our confirmed green dot on the 5-day, weekly about to print one. Let's look at the 6-day for the macro here. Okay, so it's still about to print one. So yeah, major point up here. It wouldn't be too surprising to see another kind of run up, another kind of jump up, run up, type thing. up to 50. If we could break above that, next big area is going to be 54. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Obviously, this has been a crazy last 12 months for Bitcoin. Pretty much just straight up with a few quails and stuff, but pretty much kind of just straight up. So yeah. And moving on to Ethereum. So Ethereum, we'll look at ETH versus Bitcoin. 30-minute trigger wave printing. Next big place, if we can break above these areas, is going to be around 2,900, which is going to be spectacular, going to be huge if that does, if that does occur. So yeah, and ultimately, 3-day green dot, 4-day green dot. These look good, and I would argue that ETH looks like it. Oh, weekly too. Yeah, weekly green dot. I would argue that ETH looks like it can continue to outperform Bitcoin here. And if we look at the ETH versus Bitcoin chart, if we look at this guy right here, big jump up coming up to that area, and you're getting, I think, the 3-day, I like bull div, trigger waves, all that, trigger wave on the 2-day. So very likelihood that ETH could have bottomed out against Bitcoin. So we'll absolutely have to see what happens here. Let's see, Bitcoin money flow 1 hour to 4 hour. Well, 1 hour is not awful. 4 hours not the best. And these are kind of more bearish. So yeah, that would be maybe more your bearish case in a lot of these. A little bit conflicting, but yeah, we'll have to see here. Solana jumping up. Hopefully, we could come up a little bit more. If you guys are interested in some trade setups, some entries and all that, link down below. Had a Solana, set up, Bitcoin, stuff like that, and we've been doing really well. CBZ is in a trade too, so a lot of people are excited about potentially Ethereum jumping up higher, and I think it absolutely might. I think it absolutely might here. And same thing potentially with Solana. Matic is another one I like. You guys know I like Matic, and yeah. Bear div on the hourly. Yeah, we'll see how much that plays out. Potentially come up back to $1. So fighting back to that area, which is going to be the big place. And for obvious reasons too. Looking at, let's just look at going a little CoinGecko and see, or funding rates. So a good amount of people are trying to go long right now, but it's nothing like too crazy. If you look down on some of these big exchanges, nothing too unhealthy, especially on the high volume exchanges. So I do see a healthy market still, with potential continuation. And if we look at what's up the most in the last, okay, so Sui, Mina's been up, Polkadot. Let's look at Polkadot. Five-day, that's looking pretty good on Polkadot overall. Let's actually look at a chart that's more marked up. Yeah, a lot of these drop down and now recovering. So I do think, it is indicative of a potential, potential altcoin season kind of starting, an altcoin season potentially starting if Bitcoin, continues to be range bound around high 40s, low 50s or whatever. And then after ETH has run up a bit more, maybe up to 28, then you could see some alts really ride, and potentially NFTs as well. So yeah, I think DOT will continue forward, potentially here a bit higher. And I'm trying to think, Cardano, yeah, we could look at a few of the big caps. Cardano hit technical target down there, now has jumped up back up to these areas, rejecting from this point, 60-cent area, big psychological area, big point. Can we break through? A little tough to say here. I like money flow in some of these. I do like where was it? 30-minute. Yeah, 30 minutes bring a trigger wave, and a lot of these potentially could bring us up higher there. And one that I've been looking at a lot, as you guys know, Ape token, Ape coin. Ape potentially jumping back up to $1.60 next. So playing around with that $1.50 point, almost there, doing pretty well. And I think if this continues to go up, we could see the mutants and the Bored Apes start to fight back a little bit. I think they can within the next few weeks. It's kind of all or nothing for the for the NFTs, I would say. Let's see, NFT floor price right here. And mutants are about 4 ETH, so extremely low, but holding kind of that dollar value a good amount, trying to hold $10,000, and I think they might. I think they will. This is the full bubble pop pattern, around, low 4s, high 3s, so ultimately, yeah, that's what we're looking at. This was 4.5, so all the way down to, well, this hasn't really updated, but yeah, some intraday down to 410 or whatever. What's up, NBF? What is up, NBF? And let's see, so yeah, so that was Ape. And let's see what's happening right now. Hopefully this market, continues to be fun throughout this this live stream. That's what I'm kind of hoping for here. And so we could kind of watch and see. So yeah, ETH kind of jumping up from that area. That's what I like there. And this long, I am looking to. This was a setup given in advance, I believe. Yeah. Looking for these higher areas, so we'll have to see what happens here on Ethereum. So yeah, definitely an exciting time for crypto. A lot of good setups. We had our VIP meeting last night. Had a good discussion with a lot of you guys last night in the Discord. So yeah. Okay, you're long on BG. You're long on everything I've never heard of. Pax Gold. Are you talking about Pax Gold here? Pax Gold. Is that, yeah, that's gold. Yeah, that's not as popular as it used to be. Oh man. Celsius is going to open up withdrawals soon. You get 30% back of what you had. No, I'm just kidding, probably more than that. But yeah, I mean, then we're kind of, market's fully, reset at this point. We could look at one of the tickers is FBTC, Fidelity one. Down on the day. Probably got to look at the 1 minute even, yeah. So it came out right here at trading. It is at a 9% discount from the start of trading. So yeah, I believe when gold and silver ETFs came out, those started to go up as those came out. So yeah. I've heard of this one. Yeah, weekly looks pretty good. Macro looks pretty good on this. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Quick analysis, but I mean, yeah, this does a lot of trigger waves and such. Yeah, that 2-day. I think for a long term, yeah, riskier though, smaller market cap. Degens. Chainlink. Yeah, a lot of stuff is pumping back a bit. Maybe we could get up to $20. Maybe not, but yeah, if we could break upward. Trigger wave forming on the 3-day. The Bitcoin ETF, yeah. No, it's crazy. It is crazy. It is looking like we can jump up a bit more here. It's looking like that. So yeah, it looks like continuation on the 3-minute, as well. So yeah. Filecoin. Philcoin. So let's see here. Yeah, trigger wave rate, that looks good. Yeah, that looks like the setup here could be, if you were to do, I mean, it depends what you want here, but I mean, it's a 101 back to the way up. If you want to bet it's going to go there, that could work out. I like the trigger wave on the daily on Filecoin. Yeah, I do kind of like that. Let's see on it. What? See, the Bitcoin holders being contacted by over-the-counter desks offering premium over spot. Say they buy at end of day. Won't be. I don't know what that means, Tim Collar. I'd have to. Could you explain that a little bit better? I don't know what that. I'm not sure what that. How to interpret that. How's Bitcoin looking short term? I think it's looking pretty good. I like the. Come on, true green dot there. I think we will probably come back up to 48K, but I could be wrong, obviously. That's kind of my estimate right here. ETH, I think, will continue to jump up against it. So yeah. Just curious about what was it? What was I trying to forgot now? What was it? Well, Bitcoin dominance, I definitely wanted to look at. Down a bit. I mean, I would probably follow the money here. Once we get a trigger wave on the 4-day, that's where it gets more bearish for Bitcoin dominance. Weekly is still pretty good. Bear div on the 2-week, and then red dot there would be. So I think ultimately it's the DCA period for alts is right now, in my opinion. So yeah. Bear divs on Bitcoin high time frames, not entirely. Not on the 5-day, not on the 4-day, not on the 3-day. Not yet on the 2-day. Not yet on the 1-day. It could be, though. Not on the 12-hour. There is one on the 16-hour. That's about it, yeah. But yeah, we could roll over potentially from that. Sure. But I would be looking more at this trigger wave on the 30-minute that I kind of like. So, yeah. And then hopefully jumping up higher here for ETH. Market generally, in terms of funding rates and all that, generally looks still generally healthy. I think there are some people selling the news, but I don't think it's a crazy amount, at least not yet. I think that you may see February as maybe the red month, if we do get an altcoin season for the next few weeks, if Bitcoin stays sideways. So yeah. 15-minute bull div on Bitcoin. Let's take a look. Not yet. No, it's just a trigger wave. Not yet. Oh, are you talking about? Technically not. If you wanted to go from wicks, I guess, yeah. But that's not like the strongest bull div. But there are other bull signs. So yeah. Definitely we'll have to see what happens. There's cases to be made on both sides. I mean, you could kind of argue, yeah, bear div there. Now they're starting. Did that just come up on the, yeah. Now we're starting to see some more bear divs. So we'll see what happens. As long as the 10-hour remains like this, I think we're okay though. Firms in it. Yeah, I mean, we could come down, sure. Sell the news. I like the 20 though. 49K. Yeah, I would assume, there's probably a lot of people with stops up here. I would assume they run it up to 49.50. Yeah, 30-minute does look pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, that's that for Bitcoin. Then if ETH could break above these points, potentially 2,900, 3,000 would be kind of crazy. But yeah. Wanted to look at, Cosmos, yeah, jumping off at this point. That looks pretty good, especially with the, yeah, I'd probably consider that a hidden bull div, yeah. definitely a hidden bull div, and then coming up farther, Cosmos could be a good kind of long setup here, something like this. Yeah, back up to those highs, potentially even farther, 2 to 1. You could get maybe. But yeah, I think it might be able to come back. It looks pretty good. Cosmos looks good right now, I would say. Let's see. ARB. Let's see. Yeah, it's tougher to say with obviously the new ones, but I like the 2-day. I think there could be a continuation here. To where, I don't know. That's where it's a little tough to say, but yeah, it does seem like potential continuation, especially on the hourly. Yeah, I think it is ultimately, especially for altcoins, the disbelief phase. Especially for ETH and a lot of the altcoins, I think we're in the disbelief phase. I think. Let's look at AVAX. So yeah, VWAP coming up there into the green. That looks generally pretty good on the macro. Let me look at. Yeah, I got more on the Binance chart here, more data. Trigger wave right there. That looks pretty good. If you could break above, this point, that's a 1-to-1 up to there. You could try something like that. That could be a good setup, especially if you could break above. Now, if you reject from there, you're kind of screwed. But I mean, time will tell. I think you'll make it. I think you might make it. I think we're still in that disbelief phase. Yeah, 2 billion to buy the ETF. I don't know if that's. I really don't know how that's gonna. I mean, I assume it would be bullish, but it's already like it could be already factored into price because everybody already knows about that. So yeah, and they probably they get a discount. They probably get a 20K. I'm kidding, but yeah. So yeah. Definitely want to look at the S&P 500. So I know the news today was that, higher inflation, bearish, things were down a little bit. Now they're starting to recover. Trigger wave on the hourly could bring us to new all-time highs or whatever for the S&P 500. So yeah. And then bear div forming on the weekly. Not quite there yet. So not concerning just yet. We could have some more concerns. There could be some things brewing. But as of right now, I would expect you to come up a little bit more along with Bitcoin, most likely, I would assume here. So yeah. NASDAQ, that's okay. Playing around with a similar point. Your weekly is printing a bear div here. This is, a little bit more bearish, I would argue. Money flow on your, that's not good money flow on that 4-day. It doesn't look too good there. NASDAQ does not look the most promising thing right now. Definitely giving us some traction at this all-time high. Yeah. So when's Bitcoin going to dump? I think if it does, it could be a sell the news. Who the hell knows? But I would give it probably 2 weeks of at least being sideways before it does dump. At least a week maybe. And I think you'll eventually get, a 30% correction or something. Now, what could it be? From say we top out at 50, 30% down would be 35. So 50 to 35, that would make sense. 35 could be a big area. If you do see that in, I don't know, February, March or something, maybe pre-halving. We'll see. But some of these, in these very, bullish times overall, you don't get the, the crazy drops that we're all expecting, So, yeah. Solana, kind of weird reverse head and shoulder type situation here. I would argue maybe something like that we're looking at. Neckline, that would bring you back up to 120, potentially 119. Could be. So yeah. And Matic was one we've kept our eyes on. And that is, yeah. A little red hike and ashy, but nothing too bad. Money flow crossover there. I would assume you could get up higher. Long on Bitcoin. Funding rates, nothing too bad. So yeah. Trigger waves potentially coming up on Solana, so that's exciting. That's a shit token and a half. That's a new one. Back down there. Probably could jump here. We'll see though. Not sure. What was that other one? Beam. Yeah, it's tough. Some of these. This one, there were people excited about. Kind of looks good in the weekly. View of coming up. You should be able to jump up eventually, but it's taking a little bit of its time. It's rejecting. So, yeah. Doge ETF. Let's look at Doge actually. Trigger wave forming on the 3-day. I would assume you'd eventually break above these areas. Yeah. And then, well, yeah, I think we looked at it already, but ApeCoin. That trigger wave kind of forming on the 3-day, 4-day trigger wave forming, 2-day hidden bull div forming, daily hidden bull div confirmed. And curious about Ape ETH, if it's starting to, probably not. Yeah, if it's starting to made a new low, but some green hike and ashy candles coming up. Hopefully can start performing ETH. We'll see though. But Ape BTC and Bitfinex, or let's look at the Binance one. Actually, that might be that area right there. So I think we may jump pretty soon, but yeah, I mean it's more of a degen play a little bit, but yeah. 50K area and ETH. Yes, that's a good question. Yeah, that's what I've been talking about. You know, $200 up for Ethereum, $300 up for Ethereum, and then, you know, 50K for Bitcoin, I think is definitely in the cards. You know, we'll see how long it takes, maybe the end of the day, you know, something like that, of that nature. Let's see here. So yeah. Oh, did it go away on Bitcoin? Oh no, it didn't even. ETH, it was printing, but yeah, the trigger wave on the 30. Yeah. And then if we look at Shiba, trigger wave potentially coming up. So yeah, Shiba looks pretty good actually. I would argue Shiba looks better than Doge right now. Shiba might give you something good. Up there would be a 1-to-1, and then yeah, you could jump higher here. I think I like the trigger wave on the 2-day. Crypto Crow likes that. Cornucopias coin, supposed to be a pretty good metaverse. Never heard of it. Let's see. Oh, this is a really new one. Yeah, hopefully you could hold that high and jump up. Looks like you might. Looks pretty good. This was this was oh. This is yeah, no, that's a different one, but today's crypto one is the I don't know if it's been listed anywhere yet, but that's one that people have been kind of thinking would do something, and it's starting to jump up a little bit. Definitely starting to jump up a little bit. So yeah. I have a little bit of this. May hold it for hopefully another year, long-term capital gains. ETH founders, Cat, Elon has Doge, so you guys Toshi. Yeah. Short-o-matic. See what happens here. I want to look quickly at the CNBC headlines and such. Bitcoin ETFs begin trading. Okay, slightly down with traditional markets. Consumer prices, yeah. Insults the judge. Ooh. Getting feisty there. Okay, Circle. Yeah, there's a lot of crypto stocks that will be in the making. We'll see. Haley and DeSantis arguing in a debate that neither of them have any chance of getting the nomination. Okay. And if we look at real clear politics here, man, yeah, Trump's got it in the bag. If we look at general election, Trump versus Biden, Trump is up by a point. That's popular vote, I believe, which is pretty nuts. +8 in that one. So yeah, Trump is definitely favored right now. And he probably will end up winning. So yeah. %61%. So yeah. Whiff. Cousin just called you, asked, but it could be, man. I don't know. Look, they're calling you because of the ETF news. They're not calling you because it's at a new all-time high. So, I mean, I'm gonna hold for another year at least. So yeah. I mean, we could definitely consolidate for a while, come down. But I mean, I think an altcoin season may be kind of starting. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what this will do. Hitting big point there. Money flow looks good. It may continue based on that money flow and jump up to freaking 60 cents or something, but who knows? I have not looked at Optimism. Yeah, guys, smash the like button. Always appreciate that. I have not looked at Optimism. Trigger wave right there. Yeah. Yeah, you could potentially keep going. Big, but if you could break above here, you're looking at like 490. I don't know though. Yeah. Mask. Early 23, this did well and then came down. Now it's jumping back up. Not terrible on the weekly. Don't know much about this one. Let's see. XNA. hitting a big point there, then hitting another big point. Looks like it could jump here. I like the daily kind of. Yeah, this looks pretty good. You probably could jump up to potentially, I don't know, maybe a half a cent. Tough to say. It's another new one. It's a lot of new ones. Big area there for Sui. Kind of looks like some indications of continuation. Hard to pinpoint where this can end up, though. Really hard to pinpoint. I mean, theoretically, it could go from... is to take a while, but, you know, a double or something. I don't know, though. Where should you go to learn TA? So I have a course on it. Also, from a lot of these live streams, you could pick up stuff. There's a lot of good people in the space. You know, CryptoFace has some tutorials on the Market Cipher website. Nick Cipher has been doing some stuff, especially on Instagram. So yeah, with the trades and all that. So yeah. Total 3 looks kind of dumpy. So we'll look at XRP then, total 3. You're forming trigger waves here. I kind of like that. Potential continuations or whatever. Generally been a boring thing. Maybe it could pump. Total 3, let's take a look see at. So I would argue this is more of in the disbelief phase. Looks like you could see some continuation with some of these VWAPs coming up. 2-day and daily look pretty good with the trigger wave, so I think this could generally continue. I think it looks good, but I could be wrong. So yeah, especially if this breaks the low. So we're coming down a little bit. Not too much of a surprise. See if we could, you know, continue. Let's see. So that was Bitcoin. I want to look at, oh yeah, Sol. I want to look at again. Yeah, got to jump up, and now that trigger wave to the downside in the 10. But some of these lower time frames would be indicative of continuation, especially that 3-minute, bringing us up a little bit higher, I think. Hourly VWAP coming up. Yeah, that combined with the 3 minutes, decent. So that'd be the case to come up a little bit higher here. A little bit higher. So yeah. That's pretty much the main things that I've been, you know, looking at. What's interesting here is I wanted to look at like Bitcoin versus gold, just to, you know, kind of, because it's like, okay, if you're somebody who thinks it's all over, you know, weekly green dot in Bitcoin versus gold, like what are you putting it into? You know, and then here for like here we got some more. You know, we got some more if it's like that. So yeah. I think gold will do well, but over the next year, probably Bitcoin will do better. So yeah. Injective. Right up there. Pull a diamond on the 4. I don't know. These are tougher to a lot of these new ones. That could dump. That could definitely dump. We'll see though. Hidden bull div on the 2-minute. I know it's just a 2-minute, but still. So that's my 2 cents. I do think, to kind of summarize it up, you know, I do think that we should be able to jump a little bit higher here. I think ETH's got a good shot of continuing to outperform Bitcoin and jumping up higher. And Sol probably could get to that next point. A lot of these look pretty good overall. The market still generally looks healthy in terms of funding rates, so not too much of a concern there. It is getting a little bit high on ETH, but around the board, nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? Nothing that bad. It could obviously anything could happen. This doesn't mean everything, but so yeah, that's ultimately it. I think we probably will have some continuation. I think altcoins might continue to do well. So yeah, guys, really appreciate you guys showing up. If you guys are interested, check out the exchanges down below. Also, check out the Discord down below if you guys are interested in some trade signals and all that. A trade in XRP. I don't know if there's I don't want to trade XRP right now. Let's see. Pulse says, yeah, CryptoFace tweeted about that, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that could jump up, especially if we get an altcoin season. It does look pretty good. Just be careful for obvious reasons. But yeah, I think this probably can jump higher. ETF will positively affect the price. So it allows more people to get into crypto, more demand, and that would theoretically long term make things go up. So yeah, JTO, that's a new one. Yeah, I mean, if you break above here, you probably get up to $2.50 or something. So yeah, $2.60 I think could be the next big place. A lot of these could jump up, I think. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. Really appreciate you guys. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this with everybody. Check out the exchanges down below if you want to trade some good bonuses down there, and check out the Discord link down below. All right, guys, have a good one.